Hello students, in today's segment we will discuss the topic the nervous system and a part of nervous system, that is the peripheral nervous system. So in the previous segment you have got the idea that there are two important determinants of our behavior. One is the biological basis of behavior and other one is the cultural basis of behavior. And you know that the biological structures play an important role in organization and execution of behavior, and so we need to study some important parts of the human body, and the nervous system, endocrine system, because all they work together in giving a shape to human behavior and experience. So today we'll cover the peripheral nervous system, a part of nervous system. So we all know that the human nervous system, actually it is the most complex and most developed of all the living creatures, of any earthly creature. Okay, so though the nervous system functions as a whole, for the ease of the study we can divide it into many parts depending on its location or functions. Based on location, the nervous system can be divided into two parts. So this figure, actually it shows the schematic representation of the nervous system. It states that there are two parts of the nervous system. These are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And the part of the nervous system found inside the hard bony cases, this cranium and backbone, is classified as central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord, these are the two parts of the central nervous system. And the parts of the nervous system other than central nervous system are placed in peripheral nervous system. Now peripheral nervous system can be further classified into two. These are somatic system and the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is concerned with voluntary actions, while the autonomic nervous system performs functions on which we have no voluntary control. And again, the autonomic nervous system is classified into two. One is the sympathetic division, which is known as the troubleshooter, and other one is known as the parasympathetic division, which is known as the housekeeping. Okay, and as a whole, brain and the autonomic nervous system together responsible for some hormonal secretions, and that is mainly related to the endocrine system. So this is the schematic representation of the nervous system. Although this nervous system actually work as a whole, but for the ease of the study we divide it into these parts so that we can understand all these parts in a very detailed manner. Now today we will discuss the peripheral nervous system, that is PNS, one important part of the nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system is composed of all the neurons and nerve fibers that connect the central nervous system, the rest of the body. The PNS, actually it is divided into two parts. Chart konot already koha hoise. These are the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. And this chart, it shows that PNS contains only nerves. These nerves connect the body to the spinal cord. There are two divisions of it. These are somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Actually we take up peripheral nervous system, which is composed of all the neurons, okay, coming from the nerve fibers that connect the CNS to the rest of the body. And The autonomic nervous system, which is a part of the peripheral nervous system, again is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic division, and PNS provides the CNS with information from sensory receptors. That is, the peripheral nervous system provides the central nervous system with information from sensory receptors like eyes, ears, and so on, and relays back commands from the brain to the body, organs and muscles. Okay, so these are some important activities of the peripheral nervous system. So peripheral nervous system has two parts. One is the somatic system, another one is the autonomic nervous system. Now first one is the somatic nervous system. Now somatic nervous system actually it is the first part of the peripheral nervous system is the somatic nervous system, and it is under voluntary control and regulate the actions of the body's skeletal muscles. Okay. For example, you want to catch a bus, the brain sends message to the leg muscles to walk towards the bus stand, and while you are walking towards the bus stand, you observe that the bus has arrived. You do not want to miss the bus, so you decide to run to catch the bus. The brain sends corrective signals to the leg muscles to run. The muscular movement is fed back to the brain by the somatic nervous system, and accordingly corrective action is taken. The signals are sent to the leg muscles till the action is over. So all these are related to the somatic nervous system. Now somatic nervous system consists of two types of nerves. One is the cranial nerves, other one is the spinal nerves. Now there are 12 sets of cranial nerves which either emanate from or reach different locations of the brain. And there are three types of cranial nerves. These are sensory cranial nerves, motor cranial nerves, mixed cranial nerves. And sensory cranial nerves collect sensory information from receptors of the head region and carry them to the brain. Okay, receptors of the head region like vision, audition, smell, taste, touch, and carry them to the brain. And the motor cranial nerves carry motor impulses originating from the brain to muscles of the head region. For example, movements of the eyeballs are controlled by motor cranial nerves. Mixed nerves have both sensory and motor fibers, which conduct sensory and motor information to and from the brain. And there are 31 sets of spinal nerves coming out of or reaching to the spinal cord. Each set has sensory and motor nerves. Spinal nerves have two functions. The sensory fibers of the spinal nerves collect sensory information from all over the body except the head region and send them to the spinal cord, from where they are then carried out to the brain. In addition, motor impulses coming down from the brain are sent to the muscles by the motor fibers of the spinal nerves. So it is clear that there are two types of nerves in somatic nervous system. These are the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves. Then the next part of peripheral nervous system is known as the autonomic nervous system. Okay, so the autonomic nervous system meaning self-regulating or independent. Okay, it is the second part of the peripheral nervous system, and it is involuntary and governs activity, which is not normally under the direct control of the individual. It works even when the individual is asleep. It sustains life process when individual is under anesthesia and prolonged coma states. It should be noted that somatic and autonomic systems are under the control of different structures in the brain. So the autonomic nervous system governs activities which are not normally under direct control of individuals. It controls such internal functions as breathing, blood circulation, salivation, stomach contraction, emotional reactions, and these activities of the autonomic system are under the control of different structures of the brain. Now, autonomic nervous system, it has two parts. One is the sympathetic system and other one is the parasympathetic system. Okay, so there are two parts of the autonomic nervous system. One is the sympathetic nervous system and other one is the parasympathetic nervous system. So first one is the sympathetic nervous system. Now the sympathetic nervous system or the sympathetic division and parasympathetic division actually both are opposite. The effect of one is opposite to the effect of another, but both work together to maintain a state of equilibrium. Always remember that although the effect of one division is opposite to the effect of the other one, but both work together to maintain a state of equilibrium. So the sympathetic division deals with emergencies when the action must be quick and powerful, such as in situations of fight or flight. During this period, the digestion stops, blood flows from internal organs of the muscles, and breathing rate, oxygen supply, heart rate and blood sugar level increases. This diagram, it states that the sympathetic nervous system, it dilates pupil, then inhibits salivation, increases heartbeat, then inhibit activity of stomach, inhibit activity of intestines, okay, then decreases digestive functions of the stomach, then decreases digestive functions of the intestine, inhibits bladder. So all these are the important functions of the sympathetic nervous system. And the next part of the autonomic nervous system is known as the parasympathetic division. Now the parasympathetic division actually is mainly concerned with conservation of energy. It monitors the routine functions of the internal systems of the body. When the emergency is over, the parasympathetic division takes over. It decelerates the sympathetic activation and calms down the individual to a normal condition. As a result, all body functions like heartbeat, breathing and blood flow return to their normal levels. As the diagram indicates that parasympathetic division, it constricts pupil, stimulates flow of saliva, then it slows heart, constricts bronchi, increases digestive functions of the stomach, stimulates bile release, contracts bladder, increases digestive functions of the intestine, increases digestive functions of the stomach. So all these are the important activities of the parasympathetic system. But always remember that although the effect of one is opposite to the other one, but both work together to maintain a balance. So these are the two parts of the peripheral nervous system. One is the somatic, somatic nervous system. Other one is the autonomic nervous system. And again, autonomic nervous system has two parts. One is the sympathetic division and other one is the parasympathetic division. So today's segment, you have got the idea that the nervous system is broadly divided into two parts. One is the central nervous system, other one is the peripheral nervous system. আৰু আজি আমি আজিৰ সেগমেন্টত অকল পেৰিফেৰেল নাৰ্ভাছ সিস্টেমৰ বিষয়ে ডিসকাস কৰিছো সো সেন্ট্ৰেল নাৰ্ভাছ সিস্টেম ইজ ব্ৰডলি ডিভাইডেড ইনটু টু পাৰ্টস one is brain and other one is the spinal cord and again peripheral system is divided into two parts somatic system and the autonomic nervous system and autonomic nervous system again has two parts sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic division or parasympathetic system. Thank you.